All right, Metayahu Yaukanan Doimin Yashi Yitchuk. Today, I want to give you some tips for the tribulation. All right. And these tips for the tribulation are going to be very important for you and your families. All right. It's going to be very critical. You understand how to hold yourselves together during the tribulation and know some basic principles of the gospel. You may become involved in being a part of a family who will turn you in to the government. They will sell you up the river for their own survival and their own sake. So know that Christ said that the children will rise up against their parents and their parents against their children. That's what this organized stalking program has been about all along. All right, so don't expect everybody to be for you. But if your family will stay together, these are going to be the tips you're going to have to understand. Now, I speak all of this in terms of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which promises you these principles of separations are going to be applied. This was already tested at Brownsville, Texas, a couple years ago when many detainees this was done to. They were caught. Okay, they were caught. And they were separated, men, women, children. And many of the children I would ascertain have been taken to the pedophile underground and never seen again. But you need to talk to your families today about what you're going to do during the tribulation with your families. What are potential scenarios? Ultimately, you're not going to be able to know what you're going to say until that time because the Holy Spirit will speak. That's true. But why not be prepared today as best as you can mentally to get to the spiritual and the soulish parts of you to integrate this into your whole being today? Now, number one, I can promise you, you're going to be hated for all nations' sake. By all nations, you're going to be hated. And I believe in Mark 13, it talks about you're going to go before magistrates in the courts. They're going to take you to court and they're going to charge you with capital murder under the Noahide Talmud laws for not being willing to take the mark of the beast ID 2020 vaccines. They're going to take you to court. You're going to go before the tribunals. They're going to probably even take you all the way to The Hague. The very same town which Geneva, Switzerland, that John Calvin beheaded John Servetus and hundreds of others for denying the doctrine of the Trinity. Do you really kill over doctrine? Churches do today, but let's get to the point. So under the principles of separation, what about you and your loved ones? When you're detained in a FEMA camp, a concentration camp, a military installation, even churches are going to be used as installations for forced vaccinations, forcing you to take the mark of the beast or go out the back door and be taken away. And then they'll say, well, I'll go worship the Lord now that they're gone. Churches are going to be about the most dangerous places to be during this time. So, let's get to the point. Some tips. Number one, know that if men, women, and children are separated, the government are going to use technological tools and other tools to make you try to play mind games with you, to convince you to take the mark of the beast. Do you think you're going to go out of this easy? They're going to torture you. They're going to mind manipulate you. They're going to use every tool in the CIA fact books and their playbooks to make you surrender. They'll put every ounce of energy into it until they decide for that person off to the guillotines. All right. They're going to use fake audio, fake video, fake voice recordings, fake letters, everything fake to tell you it's okay to take the vaccinations. It's okay to, look, I'm fine. I took them. They're good. Don't believe them for 1 minute. They'll do things in your name that you would have never consented to. You need to wake up and stand on the word of Elohim today. That even if that were true, you'd have to let them go. But you'd also like better to know that those are fake voice recordings designed to toy with your mind. All right. 2, expect electronic torture. We know that they have directed energy weapons already. They're going to use them on you during the tribulation, more than likely. Are you ready for that? I've already received about the worst of their attacks that they can issue at this point. So I've gone through this too, and I've been well prepared. And then you're going to have false witnesses rise up against you. They're going to put fake prisoners, fake people. You may even become, look, it says you're going to be beaten in the synagogues. The Jesuit order of 1520 promised everybody who dissented against the Roman Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church as a whole is all of the church. All of these denominations. They've already done this to me too in mental institutions. Put people up there saying, it's okay to sin, why don't you just sin? They're going to even put women in your path. If you're a man, they're going to proposition to have sex with you if they put you away. This could happen. Men, or even women, they could take you away from your spouses and tempt you with sex, drugs, alcohol, everything in these institutions. When Christ was on the tree, hanging and dying, they offered him sour wine. He refused. You don't think they're going to do these kind of things to get you to sin so they can brand you with the mark of the beast? If you're a weak-willed woman and you're a Jezebel male, you better come out of it and understand when they separate you, they're going to focus on your need for love and affection. I'm telling you this because I've already gone through these trials. In fact, around here where I'm at, they're starting to put women in yoga pants in my path almost wherever I go. Yesterday, I encountered one from about a football field away I saw. And I'm like, that was not even a good spot to take photos. There were nothing but buildings over there. There's no place to take photos over there. So she was faking it. All right. So I said my gospel to her was I wasn't going to walk by her path. I was going to not engage her. And if I ever have to engage these women, they're going to hear that you're dressed like a Jezebel. You really are. Women, if you call yourself believers, you better start dressing better than you do. I'm going to tell you something. They're going to exploit your need for food, water, sex, everything. You better resist it. That's the third tactic. So 1, fake electronic messages, voice calls, emails, letters, fake. 2, electronic torture. 3, they're going to play on your desire for basic human needs that will become slavish and beastly. Number 4, expect for them to make you swear on a Masonic Bible in the name of God to the judge. If you do swear in a court of law, they will have so much power over you so as to mark you with the mark of the beast. Do not swear in heaven, for it is his footstool. Do not swear on earth, for it is his footstool. Do not swear in heaven, for it is his throne. Do not swear in Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king, and that would be David. All right, so don't swear on a Bible in the name of God to a judge. It will cost you. Do not even rise before a judge in court as to worship him when they say, all rise. Tell the judge before the case, I cannot stand when you say all rise, because that would, to me, be conducive of worship. If they threaten you with a contempt of court charge, be glad to take it. Say, Your Honor, Judge, whatever, I'm going to have to take your contempt of court charge and proceed with the case. They're going to take you before the court. Count on it. And they're going to they could even put clones in your path. People who look like your loved ones. They're going to try to put you in such a delirium you can't recognize reality anymore. This is not going to be easy. Mind torture, mental torture. They even have color torture. I've seen videos where they have constructed color torture. Make you look at it. They say this stuff can shred your brain apart. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to do all this, but remember scriptures. Stand on the word of Elohim God. Stand firm on the word of truth. They're going to do everything they possibly can to get you to surrender. There are going to be bounties on you. In fact, I'm even, when I look at the SEALs and I see all the killing each other, vigilante killing in the name of the state against true believers will be a go. This targeting program has at this point been no touch, but it's becoming more touch, more in your face, more overt and less covert. They're going to come more out in the open with their narcissistic personalities. They're going to put their narcissistic, evil personalities in your face. Are you prepared for more of what's coming? Our government leaders can have such a straight face about the approval of these vaccines. They know they're harming us. They know it. And they can still talk with a straight face knowing what they're doing, folks. And there are a lot of witches who can put on a straight face and act like they're your friend, like a friend of mine's already said. And people who can operate with a straight face, man, they're doomed. They're doomed. They're almost unsavable. I think they've probably already been so programmed. They enjoy their programming. They don't want to break free from it. They have no conscience about it. They're just like, well, this is how I'm going to do better than most other people in life. It's like the Hunger Games. All right? So it's very important for you and your loved ones to know the principles of the tribulation will apply. Remember Revelation 20, Revelation 12, the accuser of the brethren. I've given you the Greek words. I haven't given you the Greek words, so let me go ahead and do that. One Greek word is Thilibpsis, a pressing, an affliction, a pressure, a coercion against your soul. When you put it with the Greek word Katagoreo, which means to accuse, basically. But it's going to be to call you and accuse you according to a category of a name. You're going to be taken to the courts and be called a murderer. You're going to be called a rebel. They're going to say you should obey the state. Churches will tell you you should obey the state. So we have Thilibpsis, Katagoreo, a name caller, a categorizer. And you're going to be categorized as an evildoer. And all the other categories that follow. Let your imaginations or let your prayers tell you what that's going to be. And then there's Pyrosei. 1 Peter chapter 4, the fiery trial that is to come upon you. Don't be shocked. Don't think it's strange. That's kind of like the word Pelosi, kind of, but it really isn't. Huh? And Nancy Pelosi promises us trouble too. Trust me. But Pyrosei is a passive Greek form, verb form, that talks about the fiery trial that is going to come upon you. Passive is something you receive, and you're going to receive it because you're not actively seeking it, but you are aware it's going to come. Don't be shocked. Be ready for the tribulation. Be ready for the mind games and mind manipulation and mind control techniques they're going to try to use. It's right in the CIA playbook. It's all there. And this targeting program on us experimentees have been what they've been trying on the rest of us. We are leading the forefront. Us high-level targeted individuals are leading the forefront to tell you now what you're going to have to go through in the tribulation. They're going to tempt you with all kinds of sins. You better believe that. Turn your eyes away from it. It's not worth an eternity in hell for the pleasures for a season of sin. I could keep on going, but I want to make these videos relatively short. We're coming up on the calendrical Sabbath. The lunar solar is tomorrow night. But I'm going to bid you all shalom. Shalom. I reign at peace. Prepare yourselves for tribulation very soon as they try to roll out these vaccines. Signing out.